Hey everybody, it's BP here. First, I just want to say thank you very much for the first 100 subs I've gotten. I've only started to take this channel a little bit more serious, like probably a week or two ago, and already at 100. That's crazy. I didn't expect that. Um, but to get right into it, I think everybody's been looking at it wrong about what's been happening with the Pokemon Company and Game Freak, cause everybody seemed ever since the leak happened, everybody seems to just go after the fact that they don't spend as much as they should be spending, being that the franchise is basically bigger than even Disney right now. And we're getting slop like what I put over here on the side. Or what a lot of people would call slop right now. I don't think the budget is the problem here as much as people make it seem like it is. Because budget doesn't necessarily mean good. How many AAA titles have we seen in the past maybe 2 decades that have had millions to hundreds of millions of dollars behind them and they still run like absolute crap? They're not even fun, they don't run well. Like, it really comes from the top. There's two places on the top that it could come from. Whether it's the business people trying to go ahead and make things their way and not understanding how games run, or it's just a lack of a good game designer. And I should know, like, I've worked with a couple of game designers already. Not to throw shade at them, but some of their ideas are just bad. If you don't have somebody telling you, hey, this idea is bad, they're not going to change it. And that's what it seems like is happening right now. Nobody's telling the higher ups that their ideas are bad. Nobody's speaking up against it, whether it's within the company or they're just too stubborn to change anything. Yes, the game developers, I would say, not the game developers, but the game direction is bad. Apparently, it's gone in a completely different direction. Like, I can go ahead and bring up what Black and White was like for Pokemon, and they try to take everything that we knew about the game and try to go in a different direction and put a whole new coat of paint on it. Have it start brand new. And even though the game wasn't as successful as they wanted it to be, it was still one of the best. And even now is praised by most of the fans from that time as being one of the best moves that they could have done. It really goes on the leadership and what the direction that they want to take things in is like. Like right now, I'll go ahead and put Scarlet Violet, Sword and Shield, and I'll show you the gameplay right here. And it's like the art direction is horrible. The models, they look bad. The environment looks bad. Like, I'm sorry, but this is not top notch. This is not, what we would be expecting of these titles. I'll give Legends Arceus a pass just because they were trying to do something new. So it felt more of like a demo of what's to come. But ZA is supposed to be what came of that demo. And they somehow flopped on it worse. Like, how is it that you put one whole structure as the level, and then it's just literally a block city? Like, if we want a block city, go to Roblox. Kids, don't go to Roblox. Don't. With all the crap that's been coming out of that, stay away. Seriously. Until they get their shit together, stay away from that. But seriously, you can even, like, you have people even on Roblox. I have my nephew making top tier designs, even on Roblox, that looks better than what's in the Pokemon game. Like, that's ridiculous. And people try to give the excuse, oh, the hardware, it doesn't run things well. Bro, they literally copied what Xenoblade was doing and applied it to Pokemon and simplified it. If you look at the battle style of what's happening now in this new game is literally what Xenoblade is like, but very simplified. And then on top of that, you have the Xenoblade series that runs 100 times better, looks 100 times better, probably less of a budget on it, or just as much of a budget. I have to look into that. I'll probably put up a little picture over here on the side of, like, maybe Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because that's the game I invested the most time into out of the series. And I know what you guys are thinking. It's not for that reason. But those who know, you know. But their budgets aren't that much different. Because yes, Japanese developers are paid less. And then on top of that, you don't have as many features as this game should be having. Like, let's go over why there still isn't some sort of voice acting. Like, I get it. The origins of, like, JRPGs is like, you know, you have these text blocks and stuff. That's fine. And not to just bring Digimon into this like that, but Digimon goes ahead. They have the text blocks, but they also add in voice acting. It immerses you into the world. It brings you to, like, be able to play that character's voice as you're reading the future text boxes. Like, why aren't we getting that? Why is it that we couldn't get, like, you know, for the main characters that everybody knows about, why couldn't you voice act them, at least in this game? Keep the player character silent. That's fine. That's a trope that's been happening for years. Give some of these characters life. I know that's what a lot of people want. Give some of the characters life. Give some of the Pokemon life. There's no, and not to mention the designs of the Pokemon are just bleh. Like, we've had, I think it's two different generations of Megas back to back, where people love the majority of the models that were put out. My man Swampert, I'll even put up a picture of the design that was made with Swampert with my avatar. It's perfect. I used it back for so many years because that design is just absolutely amazing. And there's a bunch of them that are from, whether it's Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby or X and Y, that were top notch and people loved it. Why are we getting designs that don't even look like they even fit into the franchise? Like, come on. I'll put in a couple of them over here on the side so you can see for yourself if you haven't. It's like it's taking so many steps backwards, and nobody's telling these people, hey, I don't think this is a good idea. We should, like, maybe redesign this, maybe fix this up a bit. I don't know what's happening right now. Like, they were so good at crossing over stuff that you would find in anime and in the game. Like, look at, not to be a Gen 1er, but because I'm definitely not. I do have a friend that is. You know who you are. I know you're watching this. But where the show basically crossed perfectly with the game, almost perfectly, not perfectly, but almost perfectly. Like if you played the game first and then you watch the show, you were like, oh, I remember this from the show. Or if you did it vice versa, oh, I remember this from the game. They're actually in this place doing this stuff that you were able to do in the game. Or vice versa. Like you would be able to pick up those little things. Even in, I think, Johto, there was like, oh, there's the bug catching competition. Oh, there's the bug catching competition over here too. The lighthouse. Oh, the lighthouse here too. Lugia, under the sea, just like it in the show. You know, there were a lot of different crossovers that just fit perfectly. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. There should be a bunch of content that's like, people, even like nowadays, there's not as many people watching the anime as they used to. But I know people like me that they like, they'll see a couple of clips and they're like, oh wow, that was actually, that was pretty decent. That was a badass fight. Or something like that. Or they'll like catch a couple of clips of what's going on in the show. And then you like go ahead and connect that to what's happening in the games, and it's like, oh, it makes me want to pick up the game more. Or if you're playing the game, oh, it makes me want to watch the show more. Obviously, that's not happening, because if this stuff happened in the show, nobody would be watching the show. Seriously. And I know it's not doing bad. It's not doing the best, but it's not doing bad. And it's crazy. It's crazy. One of the other big complaints that I've been seeing is just too much hand holding as well. Like, I didn't buy the game for myself. Seriously, I got to like link up with somebody and be very technical stuff. I was able to play some of it, but it's very technical. I tried it out. The controls were too clunky in a way where, if, like I said before, it's trying to be like Xenoblade Chronicles. And it's not. It's just not. Stop trying to do that, man. Try to do your own thing. Don't make it too simple. And with how simple it is, there shouldn't be so much hand holding in this game as I saw there was. People used to be able to just understand the basics and let them roam free. Let them figure things out. That's what we got for the majority of the franchise. Seriously, until like I think Sun and Moon, which is generation 7, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 7 generations, until they started putting in too many damn cutscenes, too many hand-holding tutorials. Like, come on. It's been a 6 generations of just, here's a little bit and go. Why can't we go back to that? My daughter, at I think 5-6 years old, was able to play Heart Gold with no problems. No problems. She found the Pokeathlon. She loved it. She was able to go to buck catching contests. She figured out a lot of different things and beat the game. Why can't we do that with this? Why is it that I can't even go ahead and recommend it to anybody, whether it's older or younger? It's ridiculous, man. I don't want to go ahead and talk bad about it. I want to be more on the like neutral side, but it's like, how much are you gonna mess up? I was on the fence at first when I saw everything that was getting leaked. And the trailers, I was like, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. They might be cooking something up that they're not showing us. But obviously that's not what happened. obviously they went ahead and showed everything they had. Because if you see the clip of the trailer and then you see the gameplay that a lot of people have, you can't differentiate that at all. Everything looks the same except for one area. Everything looks the same. Why? Why? Like, I'm pretty sure Paris, France, which the game is based off of, doesn't look like one area. I remember like how many times that they try to go ahead and implement as many different things, as many different like landmarks and environments from regions that the game is based off of, and they implement it into the game. This is the game designer in me that's looking at this. I'm like, bro, where is the new designs? Where is the implementation of the new environments? Where is the implementation of what Paris, France is like? Yo, let me go ahead and find somebody at a baguette stand and fight them. Why is there no baguette stand right there? No, let me stop. Why is it that I can't go ahead and find these different things that you would be able to find in Paris, you know? Like, Paris, France is supposed to be a city of love. Why is there like not a love festival somewhere in there? You know, to just like spice things up a bit. You know, you end up doing a battle. Like, why not have like a double battle where you could go ahead and send out two and face a bunch of couples in the area celebrating a festival? That's an idea right off the bat. Like, Paris is the city of love. Why not go ahead and do something like that, a festival? That doesn't make sense. Why not do something that resonates with the region that you're basing it off of like you used to? It's ridiculous, man. And to go back to the art design argument, bro, not that it should look like the Detective Pikachu movie, where a lot of the Pokemon actually did look pretty good as a realistic, when they made it realistic, but minor details. Like, bro, we're in 2025. Why is Charizard not with some scales on his body? You know? Why aren't there more details to like Meganium's leaves? Why isn't there more fuzz to Pokemon that are actually very furry? You know, that have a lot of hair. You know, little things. You would see a lot of these little details more in the N64, GameCube, even on the Wii with Battle Revolution. You will see a lot more details in those than what you're seeing now. Not to mention the attacks. The attack animations have just like gone down the toilet. Why are we reversing when we should be going forward? And again, I'll bring up the Digimon argument. Digimon went ahead and revamped their entire attack animation storage that they had for like Cyber Sleuth, and this new game has almost every animation redone and made much better. There might be a little argument that, hey, this attack looked better in the other game. Overall, honestly, for there to be, what was it? I think over 400 Digimon, and they all have these unique signature attacks. They each have at least one signature attack. Some of them have two. Some even have three. Why are they getting so many different animations? And in this game, they took out a bunch of moves in ZA, and they still can't make them look good. bro, what are you doing? It makes it look like garbage. Like, you probably might like the, what you call it, if you've played it already, you might like the ultimate move at the end of the game, at the end of the so-called and the end of the game, where there's a legendary that literally shoots like a cannon at the enemy, and it's like, okay, that blast looks nice, but that's like a whole cutscene, and that's the only reason it looked that good. But even when I compare that to this, I'm probably gonna put in a clip of of the final fight in Digimon Store and the Digimon Time Stranger. Why are you not elevating at the end of the game? But anyways, that's why I think people are wrong. The budget seriously has nothing to do with this. Do not attack the developers of the game. Seriously, it's just whoever's on top needs to be removed or change. Somebody needs to tell them change this stuff immediately because you're killing the franchise. Like, they're still gonna sell well, but like Disney, over time that's gonna just keep going down. Everybody thought Disney was impenetrable. Disney was like, held up to this great standard that Disney isn't going nowhere since it's been around for almost 100 years. And look at it now. Seriously. Every company is capable of crumbling if you don't want to go ahead and put out your best products. Disney hasn't been doing that. Pokemon's not doing that now. It's gonna eventually drop. Seriously. People are already starting to get tired of it. And that's what happens to your franchise. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Again, thank you for the 100 subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe to see more. We'll have another talk soon. Peace.